Big win, Don Wilson here for Top MMA News. Here with probably one of the most entertaining fighters in the UFC right now. We have Brad One Punch Pickett, who needs to help someone out. There we go. Brad, you got a fight coming up, UFC 130 against Miguel Torres. You know, how do you think that fight's going to go for you?
Obviously, like every fight, you go in there with high expectations. You're always going to be saying that your hand's going to be raised at the end of the fight. You know, otherwise you wouldn't be fighting if you did. But really, stylistically, I think this is a great matchup for me and a horrible matchup for him. You know, styles make fights, and I think my style is bad for him. You know, and his style is good for me. I prefer fighting taller guys, and he has trouble fighting guys who got good hands and with wrestling, which is me. You know, so I think it's going to be a bit of a cat and mouse, but you know, I'm a lot. How I see it, the people he's got beat by recently is like, you know, everyone knows Benavidez and Brian Bowles. I think they're very similar to my style, both of those guys. And the guys he's been beaten are like Charlie Valencia, Banuelos, and they're nothing like my style, you know. Banuelos is a counter fighter, Miguel's a counter fighter. That's why that fight wasn't as exciting as people thought it would be. And where me, I'm different. I'm in your face, I'm coming forward. I'm going to be punching you, I could take you down, I could, you know, I'm dangerous. I believe I have more ways of winning in this fight than he does, you know.
Now, you being an entertaining fighter has definitely got you to rise to the ranks of the WEC, now the UFC, really, really quickly. But one thing, it's always put you up against tough opponents. Was it Demetrius Johnson, Scott Jorgensen, Ivan Menjivar, now Miguel Torres? You know, how is that for you? I'm sure you're going to come out and say you always want to fight the toughest guys. But is it always great fighting the guys that are just right on the cusp of a title shot?
Of course, because then it puts you up there, you know? Like, you don't really get to pick and choose who you fight. They tell you who you're going to fight, but I've never really been worried about my people. I mean, my matchups so far. Most ain't gonna lie to you, I was a little bit worried about Menjivar because I knew it'd be a tough fight, and if you've been out the game for a while and you didn't know, people didn't know who he was, you know. And for me, it was a very tough matchup and a very risky fight where if I beat him, not a lot of people knew who he was, and if I lose to him, not a lot of people knew who he was. And I know, because I'm a fan of the sport, and if you're a hardcore fan, you know that Ivan Menjivar is tough, and he's the real deal, you know. So I knew that was a tough fight, and I was glad to come away with the win there, you know. But now I'm looking past him and onto Miguel Torres, which I ain't going to say it's an easy fight, because no one in the WC really, you fight, I mean, you saw the UFC, you're fighting the cream of the crop, you know, so no one's going to be an easy. I never look past anyone. Me personally, no matter who I fight, I could fight some kid off the street and I could fight the best in the world. I somehow get myself in a scrap. You know, I don't know how I do it. True. It's always a scrap, and like I'd never do it the easy way. So I could pretty much say me and Torres is going to be a war. It's not going to be like, obviously not like Banuelos, because he ain't going to let it be like that, and I'm not going to let it be like that.
Well, definitely one thing that you've become known for, you know, you are Brad One Punch Pickett, but what we see more of you is your submission game, your ground game, and as we were talking before here, your wrestling. You know, where did the One Punch nickname come from?
Well, I come from a boxing background. That's where I first started. So it carried over from boxing. I had 11 amateur fights and I had 10 wins with 7 knockouts. So I hit hard with 10-ounce boxing gloves on and headgear, and I was doing well. And then when I first started MMA, I was predominantly a striker, just a boxer, and then you train, you evolve, you need to get better, you need to know what you're doing to win and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, if you just stick with one aspect, oh, I'm really good at stand up, that's all I'm going to do, you're going to get figured out, you're going to get taken down, and you're going to get beaten by wrestlers and stuff like that. So I knew that I needed to evolve and get myself as a better fighter, so I went to American top team, got with Mike Brown, got with all those guys, and my game's come on loads, and now where I've learned the submission so much, I'm not even saying I'm going to try and... Me personally, I don't go out there and try and submit everyone. I go out there and I try and beat people up, and if they give me something, I take it. I don't really... Submission still ain't my game. I'm more of an anti-grappler striker with some wrestling, but, you know, you train for so long, if you're any type of athlete, you're going to evolve better, you know?
An anti-grappler that pulled off probably one of the most beautiful Peruvian neckties that we've ever seen in MMA. Just announced was the Dominic Cruz, Uriah Faber fight for the 135-pound title. Once you take on Miguel Torres, do you think that puts you right up there for the next title shot after that?
Well, of course, it'd be vice versa. If he beats me, he's going to be right up there. If I beat him, he should pick me right up there. Like, I've been in this position before. I don't really think about it too much. When I fought Jorgensen, everyone was giving me, oh man, you know, he's up there for a title shot. If you beat him, it could be you. I never look past an opponent. I'd be stupid to look past an opponent. Me in my whole career, I've always set myself small, achievable goals. When I first started out in the sport, I didn't go, "Oh, I'm going to be the best in the world," and just focus on that. You don't. You focus on, you know, getting better. You focus on that fight. You focus on getting, you know, set small goals, small achievable goals, and then you find yourself, you're close to the top, and then it's within reach and grasp. You know, so I don't let me get myself clouded too much about, oh, you know, the title fight and all that stuff. I'm not there yet. I've got Miguel right in front of me, and that's all I'm seeing right now. If I beat him, only good things can happen, you know? So all I'm thinking about is winning. Losing in this sport sucks. It's not a sport where you enjoy being second. I'm a very competitive person. I'd never give up, and I like fighting, and wherever I'm fighting, I'm always going to bring it, you know? I always do.
Well, just one last thing for you. Can we get a prediction on the Miguel Torres fight? How do you think you're going to be able to put him away?
Well, I could knock him out, I could submit him, or I could win a decision. That's me all over. You know, I know I can submit him, and I know I can got a good chance to knock him out, and a good chance of winning the decision. So I'm not going to say it's one way. I'm not going as an MMA fighter as well. I don't go out there saying this is what I'm going to do. I fight for every moment of the fight. And like I say, I believe I've got more ways of winning this fight than he has.
So come to say that you think you're going to be seeing your hand raised at the end of this fight?
I honestly do, you know, and I'm not being cocky or arrogant, you know. It's just, you know, a bit of self-belief, and it's, you know, he's a great fighter. He's you know, UFC champ, WC champ for a long time. He's good. He's 39-3, man. He's a phenomenal fighter. But I just believe this is my time. He's had his time. This is my time. And I'm going to grab it and run with it.
Perfect. Once again, this has been Big Win Don Wilson. Brad One Punch Pickett. Make sure you catch the action between him and Miguel Torres at UFC 130. Thank you.